I think there is some effectiveness in the sense that Elon Musk can play the role of the boogeyman a little bit and give Trump some shield. I think Trump is inherently more popular than Elon Musk. If you look at the polling, and there's protests going on in other places where people are boycotting Tesla and whatnot as a way to take out their frustration on him. It seems to be an effective way, at least for the short term, to kind of hone in on one person. But then there's also the argument, well, he's not the president, he's not the person that's on the ballot, so maybe it's a little misguided too.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here with politics editor Marisa Schultz. And Marisa, Democrats are struggling to find effective ways to counter Donald Trump here when he has all this momentum the first month of his presidency. And they sort of seem to have settled on, at least for now, taking aim at Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency. Do you think that has been an effective strategy so far?
Yeah, you're right. With President Trump, he's come in with so much shock and awe, so many executive orders. For a while, it seemed like Democrats were just like trying to respond to everything, and it was just drowned out, and they didn't have an effective message. It seems like, of note, they've really honed in on Elon Musk and federal worker cuts. Lately, they've been staging protests outside of different federal agencies with federal workers, basically saying Trump is choosing billionaires over, the everyday federal worker, and using federal workers as an example to say, like, we're for the working people, we're Republicans, and Trump are not. I think there is some effectiveness in the sense that Elon Musk can play the role of the boogeyman a little bit and give Trump some shield. I think Trump is inherently more popular than Elon Musk. If you look at the polling, and there's protests going on in other places where people are boycotting Tesla and whatnot as a way to take out their frustration on him. It seems to be an effective way, at least for the short term, to kind of hone in on one person. But then there's also the argument, well, he's not the president, he's not the person that's on the ballot, so maybe it's a little misguided too.
Do you think the Democrats have done enough to distance themselves from the sort of toxic, politically toxic viewpoints that they were so closely associated with in the 2024 election? Trump had really effective ads about transgender issues, for example. Some Democrats are still out there defending those issues as Donald Trump maintains his popularity, taking aim at them, right?
I think Democrats are definitely still on defense on this front, and Republicans are looking for ways to sort of take advantage of that. We'll see that next week. We're expected in the Senate there's going to be a vote on a transgender bill to basically extend Trump's executive order to say there should be no biological males in women's sports. It probably won't get the 60 votes it's needed, but at least Republicans will have Democrats on record saying, well, gosh, they're still for these transgender issues that are unpopular, and we're not. I do think at the Democratic Party, especially with the new DNC elections, they're trying to rebrand themselves as the party of the worker. And you saw that with comments from Ken Martin and, as mentioned, a lot of this stuff with the federal workers. So they'd like to move past it, but I don't think Republicans are going to let them.
It's so early to be asking this question. But so far, do you see any Democrats, either in Congress or in governors' mansions, positioning themselves well to capitalize on the inevitable anti-Trump backlash? In 2017, we did see some stars emerge from the Democratic Party, like Adam Schiff, for example, who made their name entirely on Trump opposition. Do you see anyone positioning themselves to do that well?
So we did a nice profile, and I'll shout out to my coworker, Ramsey Touchberry, who did a profile on Chris
Murphy,
thank you. And he's a Connecticut Democrat, and he's a little bit under the radar, not necessarily a household name, but he's someone who has gone on offense in a way that is not so bombastic, but in a way that's kind of on the issues that I feel like Democrats are taking note of and perhaps would look to elevate him in some fashion. And then at the same time, you have people like Gavin Newsom who are saying, I'm going to launch my own podcast, and I want to talk to MAGA types just to sort of engage on that circuit and elevate himself for a potential presidential run. I would say right now there's no front runner. There's no one that's like the obvious choice. And I think that's part of the struggles for Democrats right now. There is no inherent leader of the Democratic Party right now. You have a new DNC chairman, but I don't think anyone beyond DC may know who Ken Martin is. And you don't have a presidential race where you have a nominee. I think that will change in 2026 when the midterms start to get underway, but it definitely is a bit too early.
Well, Marisa, thank you so much for being here today. You can get more reporting from Marisa and the rest of the political team at washingtonexaminer.com.